Hey there buds, Awesomust here! After 2 Mario discussion videos on the channel, I've noticed that they only have me complaining about stuff I don't like. Not necessarily a showcase of my love for the franchise, so let's fix that. Rather than talking about characters I don't like, let's talk about characters that I do like, in a list of the top 5 best Mario characters. Just remember that this is my opinion, so if your favorite character isn't on this list, it's not the end of the world. This will also be like the last Mario top 5 list. Only characters from the mainline games will be considered. The ones from the main cast that we often see in Mario Kart, Mario Party, and the many Mario Sports spin-off titles. And before we begin, I wish to quickly update my top 5 worst Mario characters list. I thought that I considered everything before making my lineup, but there were characters that I didn't consider that I realized had full contention in the list. Characters that are worse than Toadsworth, Boom Boom, and the Toads, and that would be the Piantas, taking the new number 2 spot. I can't stand these guys. They're like, hey Mario, fuck you! We know you're forced to collect the Shine Sprites to restore Al Delfino's power because we somehow mistook you for Blue Man Group over there, but rather than giving the ones we have to you, we're going to have you do meaningless tasks for us that we can just do ourselves. So hold on a second. You have Shine Sprites, and blue coins which can be traded for said Shine Sprites, and you're choosing to not take them to the Shine Gate yourself? The fuck's wrong with you? I know it's not your fault, but Al Delfino is still your home. All you're doing is wasting the time of Mario and yourselves. Lazy-ass motherfuckers is what you are. Motherfuckers who are quick to blame Mario and put him to work without doing a damn thing yourselves. I think it's more insulting when you consider that they hold more of the game's sprites than anyone else we see, whether it be through blue coins or just through canonical ownership. With Waluigi, I feel as if I misunderstood his purpose. I gave him shit for being underutilized, but I realized that's the point. He'll never get his time to shine because he doesn't deserve it. He's literally made to lurk in the shadows, wallowing in self-pity while Nintendo laughs. He's meant to be that pathetic. So I honestly don't consider him one of the worst Mario characters anymore. With Toadsworth, he's just an old warrior. And sure, Boom Boom is a bad boss and was overutilized, but we knew it was just a phase and it wouldn't last forever. Same with the Toads. I'm just so glad that their presence in Mario games has been severely toned down as of late. And the damage they caused to several game series is finally being rectified. But with the Piantas, it's just sheer sloth and stupidity. And do I even have to discuss the Chucksters? So yeah, that's the worst Mario character list rectified. Now it's on to the best characters. Let's get this list started. Let's go! Starting at number 5, we have the mother of the Lumas and guardian of the cosmos, Rosalina. Rosalina is probably one of the more interesting Mario characters to exist. For one, her personality was pretty unique in terms of Mario characters, being more reserved, calm, and closed off, which was a breath of fresh air in terms of the mainline titles in all honesty. She has a cool design that represents her whole cosmic theme as well, sporting stars on her dress, earrings, and wand, and even Smash Bros showing that within her dress is an outer space-like appearance. On top of that, she has real cool powers, sporting telepathy, telekinesis, teleportation, force fields, gravity manipulation. She can even create a cosmic projection of herself that she can use to control other people with great skill, and has supreme knowledge of the universe. And given that she oversees the cosmos and visits her homeworld every 100 years, implies space-time manipulation and/or immortality, essentially making her a goddess in terms of power, perhaps the most powerful Mario character. And then there's the icing on top of all this, Rosalina's story. This backstory gives her more development than 90% of the other Mario characters in just one game, and made me feel so much emotion, being the second most emotional part of the Mario franchise. You can't top Count Bleck's story, there's no way. Did I also mention that she's best mom? She plays with her Lumas, she feeds them, and she even tells them stories in her library. Precious. And think about it, she's a mother figure to the building blocks of the universe. That's metal as hell. All of this makes her a fantastic character, but I do have some problems with her. Over time, she did become more bland, losing most of her personality that we've seen in Galaxy, but you can probably chalk that up to a form of character growth. Then again, aside from her backstory, she doesn't have that much nowadays in terms of character and personality. She just feels like any other Mario character in the spin-offs, cheery and upbeat. Even her voice lost all that quiet, mysterious charm and now comes across as generically happy.
Let us begin. Look, please. So... Oh, that's all.
Let's go! Oh, yeah! Yes! Farewell! Whee! Yahoo!
I just feel like a lot of what made her special was her aura of mysteriousness. Like she was this unknowable force who was happy to help, but didn't spend much time around others, if at all. Closing herself off from everyone except her Lumas as she traveled the vast lonely cosmos. Nowadays, it just doesn't feel prevalent. And many people argue that Nintendo puts a lot of priority on her. Even over Daisy, a princess who has been around much longer than her, which you can see is disrespectful. I mean, hell, she was in more mainline games than her for a time, had priority in Super Smash Bros. And Mario Strikers Battle League, and appeared in Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. At least Daisy finally had her chance to shine in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. If you're looking for a standout character in the Mario series, one that shines among the crowd, look to the stars and make a wish. Rosalina is here to make it come true.
Let's go!
Coming at number 4 is Mario's sworn enemy, the ruler of the Koopas, the king of awesome, Jack Black, I mean Bowser. This guy is probably the most badass Mario character to exist. He's a spiky dragon turtle with magic powers that breathes fire. That alone gives him a spot on this list, but he also has a real fun personality. He's hot-headed, brutish, and intimidating when he needs to be. But he can also be a lovable, meat-headed goofball. He yells at his minions, but he does care about them, despite what it seems on the surface, and will even go out of his way to save them. Bowser's Inside Story has the best version of him I've seen, being the perfect culmination of all these qualities, making him so fun to experience, intimidating and hilarious in such a likable manner, with amazing facial expressions to boot. Also, he's a good father. His relationship with Bowser Jr. is honestly adorable, with the Nintendo Switch parental controls video capturing it beautifully. Plus, he adopted the 7 Koopalings and made them high ranks in his army. Not only wholesome, but many believe that this is because he knows what being an orphan is like, as it's speculated that his parents were absent in his life for one reason or another, and Kamek was his only caretaker. I mean, that would explain why he's so angry all the time. Now, where does Bowser falter? Why isn't he higher on the list? To explain why, I'm going to talk about something called Final Boss Syndrome. It's fun to see Bowser as the final boss half the time, but holy shit, he's the final boss in Mario games way too much. Even in situations where it doesn't make sense, with no build-up whatsoever, he's the final boss. Want Luigi possessed by Lucien to be the final boss in Mario Tennis Aces? Bowser takes the racket for himself with no build-up. Waluigi steals the music keys from Truffle Towers at the beginning of DDR Mario Mix. Perhaps he'll be the final boss, giving him a chance to shine. Oh wait, it's Bowser. The Megabug's a creature with great potential. What will its final form look like? Oh, it's just possessing Bowser. And Tasma's a really cool villain. I can't wait to see what he does. Oh wait, he's teamed up with Bowser. Please don't tell me he's going to be the final boss instead, god damn it. I just rescued baby Luigi from the clutches of baby Bowser. Suddenly warping through space and time, King Bowser appears. Yep. They're so desperate to make him the final boss that he stole the spotlight from himself. That is a whole new level of bullshit. Despite this, he's one of the coolest Mario characters ever, and he will be more than happy to burn you to cinders if you think otherwise.
Let's go!
But look guys, look, it's one of my greatest achievements, Wario.
Next on our list is the number 3 pick, Mario's lovable goofball rival, Wario. The thing with this guy is that he's so likably goofy that it's super infectious. Whenever something involves Wario, you know you're in for a fun time. His design is super goofy, his voice is hilarious, and his personality allows for lots of hijinks. Unlike Mario, who goes on adventures to save the day, Wario goes on adventures to get rich. And truly, that's all you really need. Not to mention how this guy has 2 great series in the forms of Wario Land and WarioWare that allows us to see everything about what makes him so special. Although I wish Wario Land continued. I mean, when did the last game come out? Oh. Yeah, that series is fucking dead, bro. And I just want to mention that Wario's name is actually pretty clever. Not only because W is an M upside down, but his name is a combination of Mario and the Japanese word warui, which means bad. So essentially, his name translates into Bad Mario. Nintendo thought of everything when making this guy, creating the ultimate Goofy rival. Speaking of Goofy, did I also mention that he's like a cartoon? No matter what happens to Wario, he just shrugs it off in a cartoonish fashion, just adding to his humorous charm. It was stated in the Wario Land 2 manual that he cannot die unless he feels like it, which does explain that, but given that health bars were added in later installments, you can argue that it was retconned. And here's a fun fact, Wario's an Italian-German. He speaks some Italian, but he's also been seen speaking German.
So I missed!
Also, his theme in Mario Strikers Charged is polka music, a type of dance music originating in Bohemia, which is associated with Central European culture, including Germany.
I hate you guys! Stupid!
Wario's the goofiest and one of the funniest Mario characters to exist. So likable that it would be a crime not to have him here. There aren't really any problems that I have with Wario. The only reason that he isn't number 1 is that the next 2 characters are even better.
Let's go!
Who doesn't like Yoshi? Tell me to my face right now who the fuck doesn't like Yoshi. At number 2 on the list, Yoshi is peak vibe. He and his species are the ultimate altruists, willing to help out whenever they get the opportunity. They're even perfectly fine with dying in order to do so. They don't care, as long as they lend a hand, and that deserves the utmost respect. Their presence alone in a game makes the experience even better. Whenever they appear, players are like, "Yeah, Yoshi!" I don't think I've ever heard anyone say, "Oh, Yoshi," in my life. And that alone is a testament to their immaculate vibes and pure aura of enjoyment that comes with them. Not to mention that their design is peak. Adorable innocent eyes, big round nose, extendable tongue, and coming in a variety of fun colors. All of this isn't even mentioning their interesting biology. They're asexually reproductive, they can lay eggs by eating stuff, and on top of that, they can use their eggs as weapons by chucking them at enemies. Eating enemies can also help them reach maturity faster. That's just cool, there's nothing else to say. And on a final note, the babies are adorable. And I bet a lot of you are wondering, who on earth is better than Yoshi? And a lot of you probably think that the answer is obvious. Join me at number 1 to find out.
Let's go!
Luigi, number 1.
Who else could be number 1? It's player 2, the Green Thunder, Mario's younger ghost-busting twin brother, Luigi! What I like about Luigi is that when you stop to think about it, he's the most developed character in the main Mario cast. He's jealous of Mario's success and is upset that he lives in his shadow, but his love and care for Mario is great and unfaltering, even secretly wishing for his approval. In fact, their bond is so strong that it informs each of the bros where the other one is, and that is the most wholesome thing ever. He's cowardly, yet bravely overcomes his fears when it comes to protecting those he cares about, especially his brother. He can even be boastful, as he once exaggerated stories about his adventure to find all the pieces of the marvelous compass to make himself look cool. And no matter the flack and disrespect he faces on a daily basis, despite being upset in the moment, he remains positive and upbeat, even if he keeps his pain inside, and that's very commendable. All of this is what makes him so three-dimensional in my eyes. I also like to add that unlike his brother, he's actually in a relationship with Daisy. If only Peach wasn't such a tease, but whatever. And remember how I said that Wario is the goofiest Mario character while being really funny? Well, Luigi is the funniest Mario character while being really goofy. He's had so many funny moments throughout the franchise that it's comical. He's clumsy, he gets himself hurt frequently, he makes a fool of himself constantly, he's very emotional, he's very expressive with his face, he's constantly afraid of threats, and isn't afraid to cross-dress if the situation calls for it. I don't think I've ever encountered a scene with Luigi where I wasn't entertained by shenanigans and charm. Speaking of Wario, he wasn't the first character Nintendo was clever with in the naming process, because the name Luigi is similar to the Japanese word Ruigi, which means similar. Nintendo didn't have to be this clever, and I'm telling you, they're paying attention to everything. And you know you have peak status when people are rewarded with the ability to play as you. I mean, hey, the more Luigi, the better. And to think, this guy started out as player 2, a reskin, Green Mario, and developed so much to the point where he became the most likable Mario character, and one of the most likable video game characters of all time. What else can you say except, go Luigi!
Thanks, my bro. Thanks, Mario.
And that was my list on the top 5 best Mario characters. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know who your favorite characters in the franchise are and why you like them in the comments. Be sure to check out my friends and have an awesome day. But he also has a real fun personality. He's hot-headed, brutish, and why did I say brutish so weird? Brutish. Brutish. Blah, 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 blah. My tongue feels so big in my mouth. Fuck.